If your business feels busy, but progress feels slow, it's not time that you're missing, it's the right rhythm. You've built the traction, you've grown your revenue, but the pace that got you here is not what you need now to grow. It's been what's holding you back. So in this video, I'm going to go through and show you the 10-minute rhythm that scales what's working without adding another tool, team member, or late night sprints. Hi, I'm Katie Hahn. I've spent almost the last 20 years running companies, building operations and systems for 7-figure coaches as well as traditional businesses. And when I built my own company, I learned something most founders never talk about, that scaling doesn't fail because of bad strategy. It fails because there's no CEO rhythm that holds it together. What do I mean by that? The rhythm is really the glue. And I'm going to really dive in and talk to you about this. I've mentioned this before in previous videos about the CEO buy-in, and you should refer back to them and watch that one first, because if you don't have that first, the rhythm isn't going to work either. If you're ready to see where the rhythm is breaking down in your business and how to really fix it fast, start with my free CEO Scaling Scorecard. In less than 5 minutes, you'll see exactly where your business is leaking time, energy, or focus. Grab the link below in the description as well as in the comments, and then let's build your CEO rhythm together. You don't need more hours in the day, you need structure. And I know that's scary because that feels confining and that you are boxed in to have this very structured life as well as a business. But I promise you it is incredibly freeing, especially if you have a family or you have other responsibilities outside of this business. Most CEOs lose over 6 hours a week repeating tasks or managing what should already be automated or delegated. 6 hours. And then another 4 hours just switching between tools, conversations, and priorities. That is the switch. I have just read this stat that it takes about 23 minutes to get back on task when you are multitasking. I know women are wonderful at multitasking, but if you have limited time, you really need to consider how you can become more focused and structured so that you can use that time more wisely and in the time in which you allotted for your business. So that's an entire workday gone every single week. What else could you be doing with that? I know that I would prefer to spend time with my family or have a free day once a week to do whatever in the world I want to do versus spending it on things that I really didn't have to do. This is why your business can feel like it's growing and stalling all at the same time. It's not a problem with your effort. It's a lack of rhythm that aligns your priorities with yours and your team's execution. That's what this 10-minute rhythm really solves. The rhythm is simple, but powerful. It's how you move from reactive to proactive, and from an operator, business owner, to an orchestrator, CEO. So first one is have a sheet of paper for everything home. Write everything that relates to your home, your life, your personal life, whatever that is, so that that gets out of your way and stops seeping in to what you need to do during your business time. So take that, put it on one sheet of paper. So once you have your brain dump, you're going to have home versus work stuff. Just dump it all on a piece of paper. It's okay. It doesn't even have to be categorized yet. Now, I'm going to have you start labeling the third sheet of paper. That's called your parking lot. Put parking lot at the top. We're going to come back to that one. But first, what we're going to do is go to the fourth sheet of paper. In the fourth sheet of paper, what I want you to do is write down your goal for the quarter. Then I want you to create 3 columns. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to draw a line and put projects, okay? So once you have this, you pretty much should have two halves to this. one that says projects at the bottom, and at the top it's your goal. So you remember what your goal is. And then you're going to have these words: lead in one column, leverage in the second column, and let go in the third column. With that, we're going to go back to your data dump of all your work stuff. And you're going to just highlight everything that is really going to do one of three things. One, it drives revenue. Two, it retains clients. Or three, it reduces friction. Then the fourth thing that you're going to highlight or circle, make it different, is projects. Something that's really a project. It's not simple. It may take time, things like that. Now you're going to take those highlighted ones, or however you identified it, and we're going to put them into those three categories. So the first one is lead. What can you only decide or do? So put everything in that category. The second one is leverage. What needs delegated, collaborated, or what do you need to systematize or automate? And number three, third column, is let go. And that let go is really what doesn't fit the priorities right now. And then the last one is put everything else that's under projects under here. So what this is going to do is help organize. Now, you have that parking lot. We're going to take everything else that was on your list. It is important. And you're going to create this parking lot. And you're going to refer back to it, but it's going to help you stay focused instead of going after the shiny objects, because those might be fun and easy, but you might have some hard things on here. And sometimes it's not easy to do those hard things. We all have that aversion to doing things that are hard. And sometimes we don't, we prolong it. What I want you to do is see how these priorities are really starting to align. So you have your goal, do these things that are on here align with your goal? If not, we may need to move it over to the let go and put it on the parking lot for a later time. That parking lot is one that you're going to keep going back to, scratch stuff off, put it on your list, take it off your list. But it allows you to continue to keep your focus and your impact on what matters, which is your goal. So this really is the pre-setup to your command center. Really, this is the rhythm so you get used to it in the practice. Now, I just want to talk a little bit quickly about your projects. Now, projects may be important, and sometimes you're the only one who can do them, especially if you're a solopreneur. But sometimes you also have to decide, is this something that needs to be done now, and how does it impact your goal? So sometimes these become projects, but sometimes you also have to evaluate, is this important now, or is this a nice to have? And so you may have a different project board that things go on to and you come back to. Because realistically, you can only do so many projects a week, a month, a quarter. And when you go back and use these later on, and every week that you're looking at it, every quarter, when you're doing more of your planning, you can see what is important for you to be pulling off of here and focusing on. Because does it go back to increasing revenue, retaining clients, or really systematizing and making sure that you are focused on really reducing that additional friction that's in your business? Once you've mastered this rhythm of practicing, because it's about consistency and getting that rhythm down so that you have that opportunity to be much more focused and present when you have your work to do. That's when you start planning your CEO Command Center. Really just think of it as your dashboard. One page, centralized area that you continue to look at to drive what you do. Now, I'm not telling you how to do this. That's something we can talk about at a later time on how to actually do the CEO Command Center. When you have a CEO Command Center, it's about really breaking it up into three buckets: client and cash pipelines, delivery and operations, and then metrics and momentum. These really align with the CLIMB framework that really is the framework behind the CEO method. And this is just part of what we do inside the CEO method, because we want to build a strong foundation for your weekly CEO hour. And really which becomes 10 minutes to plan and 50 minutes to lead, so that you have that rhythm that you can be focused and present, because rhythm is where it really meets the reality and where data drives decisions. And you just need to build that up in that CEO mindset so you know how to use this as you move forward. Because when you can see everything in one place, you stop leading reactively and start managing by exception. This is where it gets powerful. This isn't about efficiency. It's about leadership. Systems don't run businesses. People do. And those people follow your rhythm. This could be you and having a rhythm, even if you're a solopreneur, or if you have a team. Your team will follow your rhythm. This is where that CEO mindset really takes shape. You've heard me say it before in previous videos, and if you haven't watched them, go back. Systems only work when there's CEO buy-in at the top. That's the bridge between chaos to clarity. When you lead by example, really when you embody the rhythm you expect, your team naturally is going to align behind it. So don't be that parent that says, do as I say, not as I do. You need to model the rhythm you want to see. That's how orchestrators, CEOs, lead. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how you scale your systems beyond yourself using the 5 growth systems of the CEO method. So you can finally lead like a CEO, not like a bottleneck. If this helped you see how much time you can reclaim with a rhythm, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're ready to start installing this in your business, more than just a rhythm, take the free CEO Scaling Scorecard below in the description and the comments. It'll show you exactly where your systems are slipping and what to prioritize next. You've built the business, now let's give it the rhythm and the mindset it needs to scale.